वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् अष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी मम ज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवैश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सागररघुनाथं वितन्तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदां सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधास्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे श्रीपदा कृष्ण सहित सुविराजाय स्वामिनो श्रीपदा कृष्ण श्रीविदानंद स्वामी नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष मुखं करोति वाचालं पवित्रं लङ्घयन्ति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिनकरं Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, we are on text 3. So this is the beginning of discussion on the Lord's incarnations. So Sutta Goswami explained about the Purusha avatar and the creation of this material world. And now, let's just quickly go through it again. In the beginning of the creation, the Lord first expanded himself in the universal form of the Purusha incarnation and manifested all the ingredients for the material creation. And thus, at first, there was the creation of the 16 principles of material action. This was for the purpose of creating the material universe. So there is Sarga. So first, there is Sarga. So meaning that all these ingredients, they exist eternally. They exist eternally with Krishna, Mahavishnu. And then they're manifested when the Lord desires to create. So it's a part of the Purusha lies down within the water of the universe. From the navel lake of his body sprouts a lotus stem, and from the lotus stem, the lotus flower atop the stem, Brahma, the master of all engineers in the universe, becomes manifest. Believe me, when I first heard and read or heard about all this, I thought this is all fairy tale, I actually believe this. I didn't believe at all that all this exists, a flower, a lotus flower, blooms and until brown. I thought these all fairy tales. I didn't know one day I would actually believe it and understand what it is. It took years and years and years and years of reading, rereading, analyzing, right? Finally, it's not imagination. And also, like seeing, you could say seeing. So maybe I told you that story, I was just on YouTube. So I saw this Bharat, Bharat TV 19 or something. There's something called like that, Bharat TV 19. So I saw this one young man, they're very adventurous. So they're going everywhere. They're looking out for places, all from all our Puranas, Mahabharata, Ramayana. So they're out on outing, looking out for these all places. So this boy, so he has heard and read in, different places that there is one place where the footprint of Ramachandra is visible. Did you see that video? Where the footprint of Ramachandra is visible. And of course, even though I have read, all the books and I started to believe, but when he said it, I didn't believe him. So, there's a place in India where you can see the footprint of Ramachandra. He was going, he went to where the bridge is, right? So the bridge is underwater. So he was saying, looking for all the maps, here say he went this temple, that temple. He's running everywhere. And finally he came to one island. And he's saying, where's the footprint, like me also, where's the footprint of Ramachandra? Where we discover the bushes, where the footprint of Ramachandra, this Treta Yuga, right? You see, he's looking for what you call this, a needle in a stack of hay, they say, right? To look for a needle. Impossible. So he came to this one island. So then he picked up the stone and he's showing us that stone. So that stone is actually like a porous stone, because how is it that the bridge was built and it's a stone that floats on water? So on that island, he's saying that island is full of that stone. It's porous stone, So I said, oh, that's interesting, I did have one stone. They use it for scrubbing the feet, to clean the feet, So that iron is full of that stone. And then, this one, that is all sign. They're showing how if they dig that, if they dip that stone in water, it swells, it doesn't sink. It doesn't sink. So, so, oh my God. So we thought it's all story, that floating stone, and then it went to Lanka. So here it was a stone, right? Now this is looking everywhere. Where's the print of Ramachandra? And right here, I'm sitting on this same chair, and I was watching actually on my phone, And then he said, you know what he did? He sent his drone, they have that camera drone. He sent it out. And when he sent it out, I screamed. I was so shocked. I saw the footprint of Ramchandra. Actually, I saw the footprint. You know what it was? The whole island. Island it had the exact shape. Had the shape of Ramachandra's footprint. So he found it, and there were just rumors, and he was just following. So then, I'm saying this is just a few months back, or maybe a year back, Then I said, okay, so there is ground for believing. There is a stem and there is a lotus, and Lord Brahma sits on it, right? And our navel is connected to that lotus stem, right? Just like Lord Brahma is born from the navel of Lord Vishnu, and Lord Brahma is the origin of all living being, right? So our navel is connected. So how creation is done is beyond our understanding, but Bhagavatam is definitely describing it. And they say also, no, they say that when the body dies, oh yeah, we read it somewhere. I think it's at Canto. So there is your like from one birth to the next birth, that navel is what connects you to your next birth. Understand all this? So I think when you burn the body, I think that navel doesn't get burned or something. That navel gets remains, and that's what you put on the water, right? So, so if they burn, but then something is left of that ashes, that the navel doesn't burn. So that's what you immerse in the water. And that's like the connection to the next birth or something like that. So if the navel burns, meaning you're liberated. Anyway, this is all about the navel of who? Of Lord Vishnu. So our origin is Lord Vishnu. All right, we are coming out from the belly of Lord Vishnu through Lord Brahma, and then we're spreading in this entire universe. So we have an eternal relationship with Vishnu. So that's why we said, find out the root cause of our existence. So in Sankhya philosophy, we are looking out for the root cause of our existence, and this is the navel of Lord Vishnu. All right, I'm just going through all this so that, like me, you don't believe this is all fairy tales. Text 3. यस्यावयवा संस्थाने कल्पितो लोकविस्तरः तद्वै भगवतो रूपं विशुद्धं सद्वं ऊर्जितम्. It is believed that all the universal planetary systems are situated on the extensive body of the Purusha, but it has nothing to do with the created material ingredients. His body is eternally in spiritual existence par excellence. So this also I understand it now, after I have studied so much Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. I can understand this. And I gave you the example of how, the footprint of Ramachandra was visible. It was the entire island. So similarly, this Virat Rupa, so it's a shape, right? It's a shape. Then I also saw like Gaia, is it? In Gaia. So that actually is a Purush. It's a Purush. And from far away, you can see the shape of the Purush. There is a footprint of Lord Vishnu there, right? You can see it. It's a shape. So Gaia is actually, it's a body. So that's why it's like narrow. It's narrow. I saw it on YouTube, so from far they are showing. So why I'm speaking of all this, so that you can have an idea of the Virat Rupa. So it's a shape. And in when they do all this astrological calculation, so they speak of the Purusha, right? They speak of the Purusha, Kala Purush. In astrology, they speak of Kala Purusha, right? Meaning it's the time factor, right? So this is what we are talking about. This is the universal form. So it is believed, samsthane, meaning there is a place. It is believed that all the universal planetary systems are situated in the extensive body of the Purusha, just like I said, I told you about Gaia. Gaia, you call it Gaia. How you pronounce it?
Gaya.
Gaia. Okay.
Gaya.
So, Gaia. Okay. So it's the body let's say body, it's a long, just like the shape of our body. And on this is where they do all this pinned down and all this, right? So this is something that you can see here in India. So now I'm giving you an idea of this Virat Rupa. So it is a body. So all the universal planetary system are situated on the extensive body of the Purusha. But he has nothing to do with the created material ingredients. All right, because we are saying that, see, the Supreme Lord cannot have a material body. Accepted? Right? Supreme Lord has spiritual body, but he manifested the material ingredients. And now these material ingredients is being distributed into the shape of this Virat Rupa, which consists of the planetary systems. Follow? So here this verse is saying that even though all the shape is there and the material ingredients there, but the Supreme Lord has nothing to do with it. And Prabhupada will explain somewhere, I think third canto somewhere, he says, this Virat Rupa is exactly like the form of the deity. The deity is made of matter, right? The deity is made of matter, but the deity is not matter. So similarly, this Virat Rupa is made of material ingredients, but it's not matter. So that was very good for me to understand. His body is eternally spiritual existence for excellence. So that's why our deity, if we treat the deity properly, then he becomes manifested. The conception of the Virat Rupa or Vishwa Rupa of the Supreme Absolute Truth, especially meant for the neophyte, who can hardly think of the transcendental body of the Supreme Personal Godhead. To him, a form means something of this material world, and therefore an opposite conception of the Absolute is necessary in the beginning to concentrate the mind on the power extension of the Lord. As stated above, the Lord extends his potency in the form of the Mahat Tattva, which includes all material ingredients. So this Mahat Tattva consists of all material ingredients. The extension of power by the Lord and the Lord himself personally are one in one sense. But at the same time, the Mahat Tattva is different from the Lord. So power meaning the Shakti. Therefore, the potency of the Lord or the Shakti of the Lord and the Lord are simultaneously different and non-different. The conception of the Virat Rupa, especially for the impersonalist, is thus non-different from the eternal form of the Lord. This eternal form of the Lord exists prior to the creation of the Mahat Tattva. And it's stressed here that the eternal form of the Lord is par excellence spiritual or transcendental to the modes of material nature. The very same transcendental form of the Lord is manifested by his internal potency, and the formation of his multifarious manifestations of incarnations are always of the same transcendental quality without any touch of the Mahat Tattva. So Krishna himself, he is visible to us by his internal potency, like Swarup Shakti. So how the Lord becomes visible to us? It is through his internal potency, his Swarup Shakti, right? And now this Rupa is becoming manifest to us in the material world. So like Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, etc., Ramachandra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna, Balaram, all these incarnations, when they appear in this material world, which is made of Mahat Tattva, when these incarnations appear, They appear through the internal potency and not touched by the Mahat Tattva, which is the external potency. Are you able to follow this? Are you able to follow this, Kailash? Are you able to follow this? Remember, we have been speaking of two potency, Bahiranga Shakti and Antaranga Shakti. All right? So when the Supreme Lord, here he's manifesting the Bahiranga Shakti in the form of the Mahat Tattva. But when the Supreme Lord is appearing within that Mahat Tattva, he's appearing from his original internal potency. He's not adopting the material Mahat Tattva Shakti manifestation. Are you able to follow this? Say, if you don't follow this, you'll become a Mayavadi. Because Mayavadis, what do they say? When the Lord comes, he adopts the Mahat Tattva body. All right? Where are the Vaishnavas saying no? When the Supreme Lord appears, he doesn't take on the Mahat Tattva body. He appears in his own original. I read it again. This eternal form of the Lord exists prior to the creation of the Mahat Tattva. All right? The Supreme Lord's form exists prior to the creation of Mahat Tattva. And it is stressed here that the eternal form of the Lord is par excellence spiritual or transcendental to the modes of material nature. So before creation, the Supreme Lord exists, his abode, his manifestation, everything is there. The very same transcendental form of the Lord is manifested by his internal potency. So this body, which is transcendental, is manifested by his internal potency, the Swarup Shakti, and the formation of his multivarious manifestations of incarnations is always the same transcendental quality. So there's a whole list of incarnation that will be described. All right. So all these incarnations, they are manifesting not from Mahat Tattva, they are manifesting from the original Swarup of the Supreme Lord. And the formation of his multifarious manifestation of incarnation is always the same transcendental quality without any touch of the Mahat Tattva. All right. See, we are laying the foundation. All right. We are laying the foundation to understand the forms, the different forms, incarnation of the Lord. So here we are studying the Vaishnava philosophy. All right, this is our Vaishnava philosophy. Now, if you have been reading Mayavad books or whatever books you've been reading, you will hear a different story. All right. So now, because you're studying the Vaishnava philosophy, so Prabhupada is giving the philosophy of the Vaishnavas, and he will go on refuting the philosophy of the Mayavadi. So in this purport, Prabhupada speaks. He said that this Vishwarup is actually not required. It's not required, but in the beginning, we are not able to figure out about who's the Supreme, right? So, for example, in some societies, they think the mountain is God. In other societies, they think the ocean is God. Right? Some society, they think the lightning is God. Fire is God, right? They worship like this. So if they see a volcano, erupting, they say this is God. This is the Vishwarup. All right? This is the Vishwarup. Meaning, somewhere we have to start to accept a superior existence, a superior power. All right? So this Mahat Tattva is being described as an extension of the power of the Lord. So, because we are not able to understand what is God, so to him a form means something of this material world, and therefore an opposite conception of the absolute is necessary in the beginning to concentrate the mind on the power extension of the Lord. As stated above, the Lord extends his potency in the form of the Mahat Tattva, which includes all material ingredients. The extension of power by the Lord and the Lord himself personally are one in one sense. All right? So his power, what his, like I just said, that volcano, right? Is the Lord's power. And we don't worship volcanoes, but some people, they worship the volcanoes. When they see that the fire coming out, right? They worship that volcano. So this is an extension of the power. So they're worshiping the Shakti of the Lord. So the Shakti belongs to the Shaktiman, right? So you and your power is the same. You cannot separate your energy from yourself, right? Very simple. Oh, when one day you're completely fatigued or you're sick, you lose all your energy, right? You say, my energy has gone out. And when your energy comes back, then you become one, right? You become one. It happens to us all the time, isn't it? So energy leaks out. And by Krishna's grace, the energy is again brought back to your body and you say, now I am one, right? So it looks like we are two. I and my energy. I look two. And then when it's brought back, I become one. Understand? It's quite simple. Text 4. Pashyantya durupamabhad adabra chakshusha sahasrapadoru bhujananadbhutam sahasramudva shravanakshinaasikam sahasramolyam varakundalolasa. The devotees with their perfect eyes. Okay, so devotees have perfect eyes. Adabra. Pashyanti adaha. Rupam adabra. Perfect chakshusha by the eyes. So what do they see? The devotees with perfect eyes see the transcendental form of the Purusha who has thousands of legs, thighs, arms, and faces, all extraordinary. In that body, there are thousands of heads, ears, eyes, and noses. They are decorated with thousands of helmets and glowing earrings and are adorned with garlands. Again, I saw this because I keep on surfing, something interests me, so I go on surfing. They have something called Kurma Chakra in mundane astrology. If they want to know where there's going to be, earthquake, where there's going to be tsunami, etc. So for mundane astrology, they have something called Kurma Chakra. What is that Kurma Chakra? Well, it is our Kurma Dev. So my God, I went running to Bhagavatam, right? What is Kurma? Kurma is huge, right? And so it says so many kilometers, and the entire earth was positioned, right? The planet, whichever it is, Bhumandala, whatever, was positioned on the body of Kurma. So when Kurma move here, then there is earthquake here. When he move here, there is tsunami. Right? And believe me, on earth, just like you have Vastu, right? Vastu. So you make your house according to Vastu. So there is a picture that is drawn. Vastu is actually an upside down man, Vastu Purush. And accordingly, you place, the different position of your house because it's a body, right? Similarly, the countries, you can map the shape of the countries on that Kurma Chakra. So this Purusha, this is coming helpful to me now, right? So this Purusha, Virat Rupa, you have an idea. So meaning that, just like I said, this boy, he sent his drone, the drone high up. So he went up in the sky and I fell over, practically I fell over, and I was so shocked and scared because I saw the footprint of Ramchandra. Right? So, if by ill luck, like Arjuna, we get the eyes to see the Virat Rupa, right? But he wasn't happy at all. Okay, purport. With our present materialized senses, we cannot perceive anything of the transcendental Lord. Our present senses ought to be rectified by the process of devotional service. And then the Lord himself becomes revealed to us. That was Lord Brahma, I've forgotten everything. So Lord Brahma, I forgot, this is second canto. So Lord Brahma couldn't find out from where he's coming. He's sitting on the lotus flower, right? He's looking, where am I from, right? Origin of life. In this world, everybody's looking for the origin of life. Same thing with Brahma. He couldn't figure out where he comes from. Then he heard two words, tapa, right? So he did tapasya for I don't know how many thousands of years, right? And then while he was doing this tapasya and he was reciting this mantra that was given to him by Divya Saraswati, this is described in Shri Brahma Samhita. He was given this mantra by Divya Saraswati. He was given this mantra, the Gopal mantra and the Kama Gayatri mantra he was given. So he was reciting. Until here, this is what Prabhupada is describing. So he couldn't see, because just like Lord Brahma, his material body. So our present senses ought to be rectified by the process of devotional service. So he was reciting, so that mantra, he was initiated. He was initiated into that mantra. So when he was chanting this mantra, suddenly he saw the Virat Rupa of the Lord. Meaning that, see, Lord Brahma is sitting on the lotus flower. Okay? And Lord Vishnu is below him. He's not seeing him. Alright? He's connected by that stem. He's not seeing him. But by this process of devotional service, tapasya of chanting Gayatri mantra, Gopal Gayatri mantra, and Kama Gayatri mantra, chanting this sound, alright? Sound, then suddenly he saw the entire shape of this Virat Rupa. So Narayan, he saw where he is. He saw the body, as described here. He saw the body of Mahavishnu, and he's on top of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And he saw. So this is how the Supreme Lord reveals himself to us. It's exciting, right? In the Bhagavad Gita, it is confirmed that the transcendental Lord can be perceived only by pure devotional service. So it is confirmed in the Veda that only devotional service can lead one to the side of the Lord, and that only devotional service can reveal him. So the more you will do devotional service, the more when you come in front of Radha Ras Bihari or whichever temple you are going to, you start to see him is alive, and in your own homes. Your own homes, the more you will serve your deities, your deity will reveal himself. In the Brahma Samhita also it is stated that the Lord is always visible to the devotees whose eyes have been anointed with a tinge of devotional service. So we have to take information of the transcendental form of the Lord from persons who have actually seen him with perfect eyes, smeared with devotional service. In the material world also, we do not always see things with our own eyes. We sometimes see through the experience of those who have actually seen or done things. Like I just told you about the footprint of Ramachandra, right? Now you heard me, you didn't see, right? But you're believing me. I hope so. Right? I told you, you believed me that I saw the footprint of Ramchandra. All right, because I said that boy went there, and then this, and you believed me. And I believe my eyes. That's why I was shocked. Right? He really, like what you say, he put on a stage, you know, the way he did it. And as I fell back on my chair, screamed, oh my God, that boy also is screaming, oh my God. So we sometimes see through the experience of those who have actually seen or done things. If that is the process for experiencing a mundane object, it is more perfectly applicable in matters transcendental, right? Yeah, you want to see, you know, so you want to see the form, the shape of the Lord, right? So only with patience and perseverance can we realize the transcendental subject matter regarding the absolute truth and his different forms. So here Prabhupada is saying patience and perseverance. So if we are to understand, like many of you are new, now you're studying this Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and it's maybe a little tough. Is it, Kailashji, is it tough to understand? It is a little bit tougher. So here Prabhupada is saying, with patience and perseverance, we can realize the transcendental subject matter regarding the absolute truth and his different forms. He's formless to the neophytes, but he's in transcendental form to the expert servitor, right? Like I started off telling you that when I first read about all this, I thought this is all fairy tales, this is all mythology, this is all, you know, whatever. I didn't believe at all. Now, after so many years of studying, reading, studying, and seeing, right? So I'm happily sharing with you what I believe. All right. So you don't have to start from zero. So if you can, here Prabhupada said, what's that? Seeing through the eyes of those who have seen, right? So we have to be a little patient. Text 5. We're on chapter 3, text 5, Ashwini. Etannanavataranam nidhanam bijam avyayam yasyam shamshena shrijayante devatiriya naradayah. Oh my God, this is a very huge purport. Let's see how much we can cover. This form, the second manifestation, the Purusha. What is the first form?
Purusha, Mahavishnu, first Balram. Mahavishnu, then from
Mahavishnu. Now in the material world is
Mahavishnu.
Mahavishnu, all right? So the first form was Mahavishnu. Now the second manifestation of the Purusha is who?
Garbhodakshai Vishnu.
Garbhodakshai Vishnu, which I have just described or was described. This form, the second manifestation of the Purusha, is the source and indestructible seed of multifarious incarnations within the universe. All right. We should not overlook any word. From the particles and portions of this form, different living entities like demigods, men, and others are created. You understand the seed? Right? Seed. So that's why the soul is seed-like right now. only a seed is planted in the body, right? Only seed. The Purusha, after creating innumerable universes in the Mahat Tattva, entered in each of them as the second Purusha. So first, see, we are not able to imagine it because this is beyond our understanding. It's not possible. But we have to hear and get an idea because it is not gross. The Mahat Tattva is not physical. It's not gross. It is material ingredients. But our eyes, mind, etc. is not created. So it's something, Mahat Tattva is beyond our understanding. All right? But we are hearing that there is a material principle or material ingredients. All right? So this material ingredients is manifested. Then in that the planetary, in that the universes are created. All right? From Mahavishnu. Right? How the universes are created, we heard that from the pores of Mahavishnu, they are just emanating. Like when we breathe or perspiration, you know, like beads, right? Particles of sweat, right? So it's water, right? And everybody knows that sweat after some time becomes earth, right? That's why you take bath, right? That's why you take bath and then you have to remove all this dirt, right? So when the Supreme Lord is sweating, perspiring, so this is meaning water and then earth is appearing. I'm just giving an analogy, right? So in that universe, so in that universe, now this is the shape, egg shape, sorry.
Very fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, so from this universe now, so from Mahavishnu, so all these universes are emanating. And in that universe now, so here it is, let's read it. When he saw that within the universe there was only darkness and space without a resting place, he filled half of the universe with water from his own perspiration and laid himself down on the same water. This water is called Garbhodak. So from the pores of Mahavishnu, all these universes are manifested. All right. And Mahavishnu himself is lying on the ocean, Karanadaksh, the causal ocean. Right? That's why his name is called Karanadaksha. There's water everywhere. Okay. So now, second Purusha is manifested. This is Garbhodaksh. So when he saw that within the universe there is only darkness and space, all right, ether is their space, and it's all darkness, and there's nowhere to live, right? So what did he do? He filled half of the universe with water from his own perspiration and laid himself down on the same water. So this is called Garbhodak. So this water is called Garbhodak, and the previous one was known as Karana, the causal water. All right. Follow? Causal water, Karana, and here it is Garbhodak. Then from the navel of the stem of the lotus flower sprout. Then from his navel, the stem of the lotus flower sprouted, and on the flower petals, the birth of Brahma, or the master engineer of the universal plan took place.
Mataji, can I just stop?
Yeah.
I just got a little bit confused about this was water called Garbhadaksha, and then you said
Yes.
the first one was
Karana. Karana Dakshai Vishnu. This is the Mahavishnu. You have seen the picture of Mahavishnu?
yeah.
No, here it is right there on your book. Mahavishnu is also in the causal ocean. Causal means Karana, meaning the root cause of everything. So this is in the Karana ocean. Mahavishnu is lying and he's breathing out. So from his body is coming so many, from the pores of his body are coming so many universes. Right now, inside one universe, Garbhodaksha Vishnu is lying on that Ananta Shesh I'm seeing here. And then from his navel is sprouting Brahma, the stem. Brahma became the engineer of the universe, and the Lord himself took charge of the maintenance of the universe as Vishnu. Brahma was generated from Rajogun of Prakriti, or the mode of passion in nature, and Vishnu became the Lord of the mode of goodness. Vishnu, being transcendental to all the modes, is always aloof from materialistic affection. This has already been explained. From Brahma, there's Rudra, Shiva, who's in charge of the mode of ignorance or darkness. He destroys the whole creation by the will of the Lord. Therefore, all three, I know, so we read somewhere, I know we were reading so many books, so it said that this fever that kills a person is Shiva Jwara. All right, Shiva Jwara, meaning now the power of Lord Shiva is becoming manifested, and this is the destruction portion. So finally, it is Lord Shiva who removes you from the body, right? Because he destroys your body. Shiva Jwara, they call it, the fever of death. Yeah, he destroyed the whole creation by the will of the Lord. So when destruction of your body, this is one. Therefore, all three, namely Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, are incarnations of the Garbhodaksh Vishnu. From Brahma, the other demigods like Daksha, Marichi, Manu, and many others become incarnated to generate living entities within the universe. This Garbhodaksha Vishnu is glorified in the Vedas in the hands of Garbhastuti, which begin with the description of the Lord as having thousands of heads, like the Purusha Shukta, right? The Garbhodaksha Vishnu is the Lord of the universe. And although he appears to be lying within the universe, he's always transcendental. He looks like we just said that the deity appears to be material, but actually he's transcendental, right? So he's always transcendental. This also has already been explained. Prabhupada is very systematic. The Vishnu, who is the plenary portion of the Garbhodaksha Vishnu, is the super soul of the entire universe. So meaning the universe also has a super soul. So that super soul is Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Yeah, so he's the super soul of the universal life, and he's known as the maintainer of the universe, Kshirodaksha Vishnu. So the three features of the original Purusha are thus understood. So this Garbhodaksha Vishnu manifests again as Kshirodaksha Vishnu, and he's entering each and every atom and every entity within this universe. Say, I explain one problem for me. Because when we go to school, we are given the impression that nature is dead. That because life comes from life according to Vedic philosophy, but according to scientists, life comes from matter. So I couldn't understand that material nature is alive. I'm just telling you, for you it may be different because you're, born, brought up here, you're so much closer, to with understanding, like you practice Ayurveda. It's only when I came in touch with Ayurveda that I started to understand that actually nature is alive. So what is it that's making nature alive? It is this Kshirodakshayi Vishnu. You follow? So whereas the scientist has removed the Purusha, all right, has removed the Purusha from material nature, has removed, that's why I couldn't figure out that there is life. I couldn't understand that our body follows the cycle of nature. Can you imagine how the ignorance of people who are not from India? You cannot even imagine this. I couldn't understand that, that if it rains outside, then it affects my body because my body is part of nature. I couldn't understand all this. How ignorant. So all this I learned from, and I'm reading, actually I was interested in one cookbook, and it was somebody who was writing in relationship to Ayurveda. For me, I was interested in the cooking, but there was a whole section on Ayurveda. And she was speaking about all this stuff, and I couldn't make head or tail of it. Now I know. I remember Anupama, when you were coming from our class here. You told me about a friend who had some injury somewhere, something. And she was taking all types of medicine, this, that, nothing was curing her. And you just gave her one lepam or something. And it was done immediately, right? Whereas they were using chemicals because they believe you're chemical. Right? So they are not in touch with reality, even physically. And it's all based on that philosophy that you're chemical. So you're using chemical to cure your body, which is made of nature. So it doesn't work. In different millennia, there are different incarnations. And they are innumerable, although some of them are very prominent, such as Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Rama, Nrsimha, Vaman, and many others. These incarnations are called Leela incarnations. Then there are qualitative incarnations such as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva or Rudra, who take charge of the different modes of material nature. I hope you're making a note of all this because Prabhupada is teaching and you need your pen and paper. All right, you can't forget. List of Leela avatar is given. Now Guna avatar is given. Lord Vishnu is none different from the personal Godhead. Lord Shiva, the marginal position between the personality of Godhead and the living entities or Jiva. So Lord Shiva is the marginal, so he's in between Vishnu and Jiva. Brahma is always a Jiva Tattva. Please don't forget this. If you don't have pen and paper, you will forget. All right. We are studying here. The highest pious living being or the greatest devotee of the Lord is empowered by the potency of the Lord for creation. He's called Brahma. So who is Brahma? His power is like the power of the sun reflected in valuable stones or jewels. When there is no such living being to take charge of the post of Brahma, the Lord himself becomes a Brahma and takes charge of the post. So finally, who is creating? It is Lord Vishnu. All right. Finally, it is Lord Vishnu, but what he's doing, he's reflecting his power in Lord Brahma. Example is given just like the sun reflects its power in a jewel. So the jewel looks bright, but actually that jewel is reflecting because it has certain angle in that jewel, so it reflects the power of the sun. All right, but the potency of that jewel is coming from the sun. Lord Shiva is not an ordinary living being. He's not Jiv. He's the plenary portion of the Lord, but because Lord Shiva is in direct touch with material nature, he's not exactly in the same transcendental position as Lord Vishnu. The difference is like between milk and curd. Curd is nothing but milk, and yet it cannot be used in place of milk. All right? So, Lord Shiva, he's not Vishnu. He's not Jiva also. But he has come in touch with material nature, so he's marginal. So this is how we Jiva also, we are marginal. Right? So we say, who is the source of our existence? We say it is Lord Shiva. Right? Because we come through his body. Mahavishnu is the storehouse of all Jiv. But he doesn't come in touch and deposit us in material nature. He deposits us through, he sent us to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva come in touch with Prakriti, Durga, and we take birth. So who's our original father? Material body, this is Lord Shiva. Follow this? The next incarnations are the Manus. Within 1 day's duration of the life of Brahma, which is calculated by our solar year as 4,300,000, it is 4,300,000,000 multiplied by 1,000 years. There are 14 Manus. So in 1 day of Lord Brahma, there are 14 Manus. Therefore, there are 420 Manus in 1 month of Brahma. So this is 14 times 30. So in 1 month of Brahma, there are 420 Manus. And in 1 year, there are 5,040 Manus. Brahma lives for 100 years of his age. And therefore, there are 5,040 multiplied by 100 or 504,000 Manus in the duration of Brahma's life. There are innumerable universes with one Brahma in each of them. So now remember all the universes, you just go back and look at the picture on your book. So the innumerable universes and one Brahma in each universe. And all of them are created and annihilated during the breathing time of the Purusha. So Brahma has nothing to do with it. So meaning that when Mahavishnu is breathing, so all the universes are created and then Brahma is projected. And when now Mahavishnu says, exhaling and then inhaling. So when he inhales, everything goes back in Mahavishnu. Therefore, one can simply imagine how many millions of Manus there are during one breath of the Purusha. The Manus who are prominent within this universe are as Purusha. They have a function. Yagya as Swayambhuva Manu. Vibhu as Swarochisha Manu. Satyasena as Uttama Manu. Hari as Tamasa Manu. Vaikunt as Raivat Manu. Ajita as Chakshusha Manu. Vaman as Vaivastvat Manu. The present age is under the Vaivasta Manu. Sarvabhum as Savarni Manu. Rishab as Daksha Shavarni Manu. Vishvakshen as Brahma Savarni Manu. Dharma Setu as Dharma Savarni Manu. Sudhama as Rudra Savarni Manu. Yogeshwar as Deva Savarni Manu. And Brihad Bhanu as Indra Savarni Manu. These are the names of one set of 14 Manus covering 4 trillion or something, 300 billion solar years as described above. Let's just go through this again so that we understand what is Manu. So next incarnation of Manu. So many so incarnations of God are Manu. Okay. Now, so these Manus, so many are coming. They are, so see, Manu is actually an incarnation of Vishnu. So the name of the Vishnu is given Yagya. All right. So this Vishnu, his Yagya, he appears as Swayambhuva Manu. All right. Manu meaning those who are going to give the rules and regulations of Dharma. All right. So now the creation has come about, everything is said that there has to be rules and regulations. This is what you call Dharma. So who will enforce those rules and regulations? So the Supreme Lord himself comes, and he's an incarnation, but he manifests himself as a Manu. All right. And he's giving all the rules and regulations for mankind and other devas also. Mankind includes all different Manus. Then there are the Yuga avatar, or the incarnations of the millennia. The Yugas are Satya, Treta, Dwapar, and Kali Yuga. The incarnations of each Yuga are of different colors. The colors are white, red, black, and yellow. In Dwapar Yuga, Lord Krishna in black color appeared. In Kali Yuga, he appears as Lord Chaitanya in yellow color. So all the incarnations of the Lord are mentioned in the revealed scripture. There is no scope for an imposter to become an incarnation, for an incarnation must be mentioned in the Shastras. An incarnation does not declare himself to be an incarnation of the Lord. But great sages agree by the symptoms mentioned in the revealed scriptures, the features of the incarnation, and the particular type of mission. See, the Supreme Lord is not going to come for nothing. All right. He should have some purpose. Otherwise, he won't come. So he say, okay, you know, here I am, I'm an avatar. What's your mission? All right. What's your mission? So, and the particular type of mission which he has to execute are mentioned in the revealed scriptures. So, Mahaprabhu appeared. What was his mission? To give the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That was his mission. He has to give us one mantra that is applicable to us. And what do you do with this mantra? Mahaprabhu didn't come and say, build temples. No, what did he say? He said, go door to door and distribute this holy name. Do Nagar Sankirtan. All right. His method was different. Apart from the direct incarnation, there are innumerable empowered incarnations, Shakyavesh. They are also mentioned in the revealed scriptures. Such incarnations are directly as well as indirectly empowered. When they are directly empowered, they are called incarnations. But when they are indirectly empowered, they are called vibhutis. Directly empowered incarnations are Kumara, Narada, Prithu, Shesha, Ananta, etc. As far as vibhutis are concerned, this is given in which chapter? Chapter 10 of Bhagavad Gita.
10.
All right. So chapter 10, the 10 vibhuti, chapter 10, the opulences of the Lord. Right? These are all the vibhutis of the Lord. And for all these different types of incarnation, the fountainhead is Garbhodakshai Vishnu. All right? Fountainhead is Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Okay. Thank you very much. That was very interesting, right? Believe me, I've never given, I mean, for me it was always difficult, all this, but my God, I enjoyed reading this. Because now I'm starting to understand, right? When you are understanding, then you're happy. Otherwise, you go on reading, you know, make notes and reread your notes. When I first joined, I learned all this. The lists were given, you know, a Bhakta program. We were taught on this. There's 6 types of avatar.
Avatar.
But now I'm seeing different eyes. Okay, thank you very much. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna. Rancha
Yeah, Vipasundari, Vachakatana, Bhavini.
Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo.
So Mayapur Dham ki jai.
Jai.
We're done with your seva.